He crossed the Atlantic to the British Isles and St. Andrews in 1960 with his father Deacon and wife Winnie. He was trying to capture the third leg of the professional Grand Slam, already having won the Masters and the U.S. Open. It would be the first time British golf fans would get an up-close look at the broodingly handsome American, Arnold Palmer. It didn't take long for the British galleries to fall in love with the man the Americans already adored and cherished. He played his brand of golf, risk and reward, but came up one stroke short of champion Kel Nagel. The love affair had started, and it got stronger as Palmer captured the British Open Championship in 1961 and 62. In July of 1995, the British Open was again played at legendary St. Andrews, in Palmer's last year as a competitor in the championship. Arnold Palmer thrust the British Open back on the map in 1960, and ever since, every great player in the world with a sense of history makes the journey to add his name to the old claret jug, the oldest trophy in championship golf.
One of the major reasons that I went to the British Open was it intrigued me. International golf, golf in Europe, but the European situation in those days was very quiet. It was not overwhelming. But the British Empire had one of the most tremendous influences on the game of golf of any. Well, that's where it came from. I mean, that's where it happened. And going to the British Open was something that when I first understood what the game of golf was all about and talked to my father about it, it was something that if you didn't go and play and do something in the British Open, you really weren't, you couldn't put yourself in the class of a professional golfer. So that became #1 on my agenda.
The weather that day on the, I think it was the third round, was the worst I have ever played in. And people say, what was the worst conditions you ever played in? Well, if you can imagine, you know, when I was a kid, I used to watch, we used to build kites, and if you recall, they built square kites. You remember seeing square rectangular kites?
Yes, sir.
Well, in that British Open, they served beer. They brought beer in cases, and they were square rectangular cases. And those cases were in a tent, and the wind blew so hard it blew the tent over, and the cases were empty, and they were flying